Yes, what was I saying? Like if I can't love my brother who's Mormon and all of it beats the whole point. There's no point of me being Orthodox and saying that we get the real blood and body of Christ if I cannot myself be love to the world. Because think about it, when Jesus Christ came, he did not try to make everyone like him, right? He did not try to convince anyone of his theory or of his theology. He just went out telling people that you have to love your neighbor like you love yourself. If you cannot do that, then you cannot be his follower. So it wouldn't matter if I took the real blood and bread of Christ. It wouldn't matter if I kept all the seven sacraments of the church. If I don't love my brother who's Catholic, and you might say love in theory, but it doesn't mean anything. What would love look like? If I cannot help my Catholic friend if they are in need, if I can give them money to buy lunch, if I can give them bread or water when they are hungry or when they are thirsty, or if I cannot hide them from the face of danger when there is danger, then there is no point of me even being Orthodox, because the whole point of Orthodoxy tells us to be like Christ, and Christ loved the world and even the people who crucified him so much that he allowed them to kill him so that they could also be saved. So I was just texting my friend that, and I realized it wouldn't matter. Another thing that we also talked about was like going back to how things were, like the Roman Catholic, the East and West finally coming back together. That would take a miracle, literally a miracle, to get the East and the West sitting at the same table and agreeing, because it would literally cause a war. Because now it's not just the East and the West. There's the Northeast, there's the Southwest and whatnot. There are all these other people that also claim Christianity. So where are they gonna sit, right? Where are they going to sit? You see, there's just no way of putting people back together if it only means uniting our beliefs, because it's never gonna be the same. Another thought, right? So I was speaking to my colleagues. My colleagues are Nigerians, and they were telling me how in their country they eat a lot of meat. They eat a lot of meat. Like, meat is part of their daily delicacy. And here in Kenya, yes, we do eat meat, but it's not what can I say? It is not something like, we could have ugali and beans, rice and beans and cabbage, but meat would pop up occasionally, but it's not a must that we're always eating meat. In my own opinion, or rather from the background that I am, we lean more to greens than we lean more to meat. So you'll find the Kikuyus have waru, Kisis we have bananas and all of those things. Like, our staple food is not fast meat. It is something green, and then meat is added to the top. And then it just got me thinking that we are the same human body, and this human body digests. I'm in Kenya. I have never eaten a snail before. I have never eaten a snail in my life. But there's somebody in Nigeria who has similar anatomy to mine, but their stomach can process snail meat. Who in the world? That just goes to say that we are so different. And if you're only going to, if the only way of uniting humanity is by making those beliefs the same, like getting people to eat the same thing, getting people to believe the same thing, then it will never work. We will always just be different, because there will always be one powerful person who does not agree with any of those, and who always wants to enforce their own judgment. And with enough resources and enough power, they could subject people to his idea and his ideology. So majorly why I even recorded this video is just to say, maybe we don't need We don't need to be the same. Maybe the difference is good. Maybe we need to have different stomachs that digest different things. Maybe we need to have a brain that thinks different. But there's one thing that all humanity recognizes, and that is kindness and love. Every single person on this planet, no matter where they come from, all of them recognize love and kindness and patience. That is the only language that we all can understand. We understand when somebody is being loving, we understand when somebody is being kind. That is the only thing that makes us equal. That is a language that all of us can compete. It's something that we cannot fight over. It's the only thing that keeps us, that will keep people together. It's the only thing that will keep people together. And if we can get people to love one another, like truly, it doesn't even need dying for it. It doesn't necessarily mean that you die for somebody, right? It would be like cooking somebody a meal, or being friends with that awkward kid at school, or loving that boyfriend who's something else different than you, or inviting a Jehovah's Witness for lunch, being patient with them in their own beliefs. People, we will always be different. We will always be different. We will always be different. But the only thing that I know that makes us similar is that we know what love is, and we know we can see it, we can recognize it. So if we were all just kind and loving, and if we were all just kind and loving and patient, despite of what our beliefs are, then the whole point of being Orthodox, the whole point of being Catholic, because I don't know, all of these churches keep saying the same thing: love your neighbors, you love yourself, and whatnot. Then those things will make sense, because it wouldn't matter if I'm eating the real bread and blood of Christ. If it's not changing me to be more loving to my neighbor, being kind and whatnot, then I'm not going to heaven. I'm not going to heaven, no matter how many times I went for communion. And if my neighbor was more kinder to me and loving to me, they would see heaven, even though they didn't take the bread and blood, just because they loved. The commission that Christ gave to his disciples right before he was lifted to the sky is that what he told his disciples: how will people know that we are from you? It is because of love. They will know that you're from me because of love. So every single person who loves, every single person who is patient has been sent by God. That's the only way that's the only difference between the sons of God and the sons of the devil. Love is the difference. Love is the difference. And if we look at it like that, then there are going to be billions and billions of people in heaven. There'll not only be Catholics and Roman and Orthodox and whatnot. There'll be billions from all walks of life. So when in the book of Revelation we see there were billions of people as the grain of sand, it makes sense, because we are not all Orthodox, and Orthodox Christians we are not that many. We're not that many. Then the descendants of Abraham, the billion stars, the million grains, and the trillion grains of sand, that theory makes sense, because that's the only way that we could probably be a billion in heaven, just because we choose love. Just because we choose love. Just because we choose love. Yes, so yeah, that is the epiphany that just hit my head. It doesn't matter how religious I will be or I am, because I am pretty religious. But if I don't love Elias just for who he is, then my orthodoxy is in vain. Then my orthodoxy is in vain. If I don't love Joanne, who's my sister, if I don't love Senorita just because she's Seventh-day Adventist, then my orthodoxy is in vain. It doesn't matter if I am Orthodox. If I can't love the people who are near me or people who are different from me, then it will never matter if I am Orthodox and if I take the bread, if I go to confession, if I've been baptized. It wouldn't matter, because all of it will be in vain if I don't love. Yes, so my charge to anyone who will ever listen to this video is that person next to you, it is probably the best gift that you are different, that we are all different. It probably is the best gift that we have, that we're all different, that we all digest different foods, that we all think differently, and it doesn't need to bring us apart. That gay friend of yours that people are telling you to look at differently, probably you just need to love them for who they are. You don't need to accept any of their beliefs and whatever it is that they think. You just need to love them. That's all you need to do. You don't need to enable their beliefs. All you just gotta do is just love them. Just love them. Even the ones that don't like you, just love them. Yes, I know it's difficult. I know it's difficult for me to love, and just know it's hard to love people, but at least we know what the antidote is. At least we know how to beat Vecna. It's through love. Anyways, my time is up and I have like 1 minute, so go watch Stranger Things and please love your neighbor as you love yourself. Otherwise